let's cross legs, sit on some support so that you can rest your hips and your thighs and the groin. And then with your hands, scoop the buttock flesh away from your sitting bones. Lengthen the sides of the body up and roll the shoulders back and down. You can take your hands to either side of your hips and press the fingers slightly on the ground or wherever they reach. And then from there, lengthen the sides of the body once more. And then keeping that lift, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the shoulders rolling down, bring your hands to your chest, thumbs to the sternum, and press the hands into one another. Sit tall and try and take your head all the way up to the sky. Relax the face, relax the rest of the body, but keep extending the spine and the sides up, as if you wanted to grow space between the ribs. And then if you haven't done so already, you may close your eyes. With the next inhalation breath, lift the chest some more. And then as you release, let us all sing. Lift your chest once more. And keeping that lift, bow your head down. Bring your hands down to your thighs. And as you raise your head, open your eyes. Okay, let's start in extending the legs. Hello, Lucy Hickey. Extend the legs and have them more or less as wide as your hips. Just for one moment there. And then realign yourself. So lengthen the sides of the body, lift the chest. And then from there, take your hands out to the sides and try to keep the lift in your torso. And then turn the palms up and bring the arms up above your head. When you bring the arms up above your head, you really want to carry on extending the sides of the body. And then from there, carry on lifting, but lift from the left side some more. Lift the left ribs, left shoulder, and start turning your bodies to the right. So the the left ribs are pushing more, and the left shoulders pushing more, and then descend the hands. One hand is going, left hand going to the right knee or thigh or wherever it reaches, and the right hand can turn back behind you, lifting the chest more. The collarbone on the right is going to the wall behind, and then take a look at your 2 feet and notice if one of them has traveled away. So usually the right foot shrinks a little. Extend that right foot, right leg, and flatten the 2 legs on the ground. Lift the chest once more, lift your arms and release them from where they are. Come back to the center, extend again sideways equally, and then we're going to push the right shoulder, the right ribs a little bit more to the left. Turn, 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 turn your body, turn your torso, and then release your two arms. Again, the left hand is going back behind you. You can catch the brick you're sitting on if you can reach, and the right hand going to the left thigh or knee. Lift your chest more. Lift again. And then turn your head and look over the left shoulder. One more inhalation breath to lift the chest more. Lift your arms. Come back to the center. With the arms up, carry on extending, and then see if you can extend forwards, as if you wanted to reach the top corner of the ceiling or the top corner cloud over there in the sky if you're outdoors. And then catch. Wherever you reach, to catch is fine. Either the toes or the ankles or the shins, that's wherever you reach is fine. It's just having something to pull from so that you carry on extending the arms, the size of the body, and the chest. The chest wants to move closer to the big toes, and the shoulders want to move closer to the wall behind you. Pull with your hands into wherever you're catching, either the legs, the toes, and then press. If you're catching the toes, press the toes into the hands. Flatten the back of the knees on the ground. Flatten the back of the thighs on the ground. Carry on lifting the chest. And then inhale. Bring your arms up again. Release the arms. And let's see if we can stand up from here. Again, without using the hands. Stand into Tadasana with a little bit of momentum, lifting up. Well done. Right. We are going to repeat this same pose, but instead of having the buttocks on the ground, we are going to have the buttocks up in the air. So again, the feet are going to be hip width distance. Let me show you. Feet hip width distance, and then we will go down to catch. For this one, if you feel that you might lose your balance, of course, you can have a little belt across your yoga mat. And then as you go down, you bend your knees and catch the belt to keep you stable. Otherwise, you can have your hands on the shins, on the ankles, or if you reach to catch the big toes, you go and catch the big toes. This is Padangustasana. Let's do this. So, either put a belt across your yoga mat and step on it with your big toe mounds. Have equal size of belt for each side if you're using a belt, and then stand in Tadasana. Take the body weight back, extend the arms by your sides, and then without losing control of your legs, so carry on pulling the legs up, carry on pulling the knees up. We are extending the chest. The chest goes beyond the front edge of your yoga mat. And then take your hands down, either to catch your toes or bend the knees, take hold of the belt, and then come back up to extend both the legs, both arms, and the long torso. Try and reach the front of your yoga mat with your chest. So you're still looking up, you're still rolling the shoulders away from your neck, and lifting the knees. Lift the thighs. See if you can bring your buttocks a little bit more forward, so the weight is on the big toe mounds. Roll the upper arms from the inside out. Carry on lifting the knees, lifting the thighs. Give them a nice stretch, especially if you have been running in the morning. And then release the hands from where they are. Take them to your hips. Inhale and come back up. Let's go a tiny bit deeper on this. So those of us who were using a belt, you might need a couple of these foam pads now for underneath your soles. So we will again lift the arms up this time, come down, folding forwards, but lifting one foot and slotting the brick, lifting the other, and then catching as deeply into the foam pad as possible to make the legs straight, make the torso straight, and make the arms straight. If you have the flexibility, instead of catching the blocks, you will lift your arms and bring your hands down and slot the hand under the foot instead of the yoga block. Okay? So whichever version of this you're using is fine. The important thing is to keep the legs completely straight, arms completely straight, and torso. Let's do this. Feet hip width distance apart, hands at either side of your hips. If you're using a brick, you will have one in each hand. Now extend the legs, plant the feet on the ground, and then lift your arms up, whether with bricks or not. Now extend the body forwards. First of all, you want to reach the front end of the mat with your chest. With an exhalation breath, lift the right foot up, stay on the heel, and then slide that brick under the sole. Repeat with the left, either the brick or your hand, yeah? If you're using your hands, try and catch deeply inside the middle of the brick. So you have a little bit more pulling action. If you are with your hands, try to have the big toes right underneath the ball of the thumb. And then everybody, wherever your feet are, bring the buttocks more forwards, bring the weight more forwards, and lift the chest. Lift the chest. Pull up the thighs, pull up the knees. Lift the chest some more. Carry on breathing, and every time you inhale, you want to take the chest forwards more to the mat, the front end of the mat. Pull up the thighs and the knees. Bring the weight more forwards. Try and have the legs straight, so the buttocks and the heels are at the same level. And then inhale, release one foot, release the other foot. Take your hands up to the hips and come back up. Good. Well, so now we are going to come into Parsvottanasana, which is kind of similar in that we are folding forwards, but one leg is in front and the other is behind. If you were using bricks, have the bricks handy so that then we can have a little bit of extra room under the legs. So the bricks are going to be for my hands. We will come into Parsvottanasana with the right foot in front. The bricks for the hands, either here or here, wherever you need them. But then I would really like for us to be bending this leg, taking it back to downward dog, and then doing the same with the left. So without coming up all the way, coming up into the asana and then stepping one leg in front of the other. Instead, this time we're going to do it from down below. So, starting with the right leg there, and then downward dog, and then the other, and downward dog. Every time we come into downward dog, I will give you all the cues, but you can still keep your hands on the bricks, whether you have to lower them or keep them like that. I think this way is not very stable. So you may want to use either bricks, or if you have these ones, just flatten them for downward dog. Okay? But let's start. So in this case, we're going to come down into downward dog, flatten your feet, Flatten the hands on the blocks, and we will lift the right leg up first. So lifting the right leg and placing the right leg between my two hands. And then immediately after, if you need to lift the bricks up to the level that you require. The important thing here is to suck up the knees and the thighs and take the right thigh and hip behind you. You want the two buttocks to be in the same level, which means the two hip bones have to be facing the floor as well. Press the big toe mound of the right foot on the ground. Press the outer left heel on the ground as well. And now from here, flatten the hands again, shuffle your right foot and come into downward facing dog. So the 2 feet are now hip width distance apart and my hands are on some little bit of height. Lengthen the legs, lengthen the hips back behind you, and notice how those hips are extending evenly back. So there is no discrepancy between one leg and the other. Both of them are pushing back, both of them want to go back. But now as soon as we come forwards with the left leg, we will have to make an extra effort to take the outer left hip back. So when you're ready, bring the left leg forwards between the two hands. If you need to stand the bricks up, do that. Carry on concaving the torso. Carry on lifting the chest to the front end of the mat. And lift the knees and thighs. And you will notice how it's more difficult to maintain the outer left hip going back. So really need to make a little extra effort, as if you had a finger there rolling that hip back. One more time, shuffle that leg and come into downward dog. Hands can be on the bricks. Extend the hands down to flatten the bricks and bring the armpit away from the hands. So this time around, the right leg is coming forwards again between the two hands. But now what I want is, even if you need to stand up the bricks, I want to bring the big toe up. I don't know if you can see. The front foot of the right leg is coming up to the shin. Lift to the heel. Extend the chest some more. Extend the chest and look up. Grip the two hips, but take the right hip back more. Take that right hip to the wall behind you. Carry on extending the leg. Extend the two arms. Extend the two legs and the torso. And now bring the foot back down. Just come back into downward facing dog. Lift the knees, make sure the 2 feet are at the same level, so no one foot is closer to your hand than the other. And again, active in your arms, active in your legs, active in your torso. Look up again, bring your left one forwards and lift the sole. Lift the sole of the foot completely. You want those toenails to reach your shin. Extend the two legs. Open the back of the knee of the right leg, which is the back leg as well. Look up from the center of your chest. Bring the foot back down and slide it back. Downward facing dog. Look up again and let us all come walking. Feet towards hands, feet towards hands, feet towards hands, and stay there in Uttanasana. This Uttanasana with the hands on the bricks. Look up again. Lift the knees, lift the thighs. And then when you exhale, catch hold of your legs, whether it is the ankles or the shins. Catch hold, the legs are hip width distance apart. And I want you to feel that you are pulling from the arms into the legs, bending the elbows out to the sides. Pull the sides of the body down, almost as if you wanted to reach the floor with your armpits. Floor with your armpits. You're still lengthening the chest first, but you want to reach the floor with your two armpits. That's how much you have to use your hands to pull the sides of the body down. At the same time, carry on extending those legs. Bring the buttocks a little bit more forwards. And then inhale, look up, and come back up. Great. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now. We are going to do one version of tree pose. For this tree pose, I want us to go down as well. So I will show you from the front and from the side, and then we'll do it together. You can still have the two bricks handy for your hands. There's someone else coming. So with the right leg, I am going to try and come into tree pose. Sorry, right leg. Trying to come up into tree pose. Lifting the knee up, but instead of placing the knee right at the inner groin on the side of the leg, I will try and place it as if I was crossing the leg. So catching the foot with this hand, almost as if I am doing lotus pose, yeah? This knee wants to go down, the bent knee wants to go down, and the foot, I'm still holding this foot with my right hand. Some of us may be able to really dig that outer foot in the groin so that it stays there. So I'm pressing the knee back and the foot back, and I will stay here. And then last of all, we will start going down, going down, going down, and taking the two hands down to the floor or down to the bricks. We will try and come up from here, gripping the two hips. You can have something to hold on to, a little bit of a piece of wall to hold on to, and you don't need to have the leg in Padmasana, which is lotus pose, if there is a knee injury or the hips are not giving in. You can stay in tree pose, but when you stay in tree pose, then as we start hinging forwards, this is not going to be possible. So you will have to bring yourself into Uttanasana with the two legs down. Okay? So let's do that again. The two legs are together at this point, and then have the bricks handy in front of you. We'll start with the right leg. Have the hands on the hips and then bend and turn the right leg out. Grip the outer left hip in. So the standing leg is in and then come up into tree. This is our classical tree pose. We can stay here, or we can certainly bring the hand down to the ankle and place the leg in front of the hip. Now you are catching your right leg with the left hand, if that is the case. Great. Now start sending the right knee down to the floor. That will activate the buttock and the outer hip. Take that right knee back and take that right foot back into the inner groin, and see if you can hold it or release it over there. If that is not possible, you can still hold it. There's no problem in holding it. But grip the two outer hips almost as if you had to let go of that foot. Now from here, we're going down. So if you are doing tree pose classical version, bring the two legs down and hinge forwards. If you're doing this other pose where the foot is in front, start hinging forwards, hinging forwards, hinging forwards until you reach the ground or the blocks in front of you. Grip the outer hips in, grip the outer hips in. Can you extend the torso and grip especially the right hip in so that that right knee is going out to the side. It's still doing tree pose. Inhale, look up, and now try and come up from there without losing that leg. You can still hold the leg if you need. And then release. Tadasana. Great job. Let's try the other side and see how we do. Big toes together, inner heels together, bend and turn the left and come up. Come up into our classical Vrikshasana. Now from here, see if you can bring that foot in front of the thigh and catch. Instead of catching with the right hand, left hand, you're catching with the right. Left leg with right hand. And now you want to brush the floor with the left knee. You want to go down with that left knee without altering the alignment of the two hip bones. Lengthen the knee down. Lift the chest. Now see if you can also press the foot into the thigh. Press the foot into the groin and release. If you cannot release the leg, you still hold it and that's fine. Grip the hips and start moving your torso forwards. Move your torso forwards, move your torso forwards until you land on the bricks or on the ground and grip the outer hips in. You want the two hips at the same level, not one buttock higher than the other. Lengthen the torso, lengthen the chest. And with one big inhalation breath, grip the hips, press the big toe mound of the right, and up you come. Well done. And then release, Tadasana. Well done, everybody. Okay. Let's go into Shishasana. If you are practicing headstands, when you are in Shishasana, try and practice this same pose in Shishasana. I will show you. If you are already doing Padmasana, so come up. If you are doing Padmasana, you can try sliding the leg in front. If you are not doing Padmasana, try tree pose, and that's absolutely fine. So try one on each side and then the two legs together, okay? If you are not going upside down into Shishasana, get yourselves a little bit of height for your buttocks and then try the same action here. You can bring the leg up into half lotus or bring the leg up into tree and go forwards, catching the big toe with your hands or with a belt. So the leg can be up in tree, even if this knee is a little bit up. Once you fold forwards, the knee descends. Yeah? starting with your right leg and have 2 minutes on each side, while the rest of our friends are going upside down. Chris, if you have some more blocks under your buttocks, maybe that leg goes down lower. Yeah, that's it. Knee on the ground. And Elder, could you try to do lotus or half lotus? Please. There you go. Look at that. Now, those of us who are doing lotus or tree pose or Shanushishasana, come forwards and extend your chest. That's it, Terry. Great, great stuff. Those of us doing Janushishasana, try to have the two shoulders at the same level and carry on extending the torso. Those of you in Shishasana, I hope you're doing all the variations, one leg at a time, into tree and then Baddha Konasana. And that's it. Those of us doing leg work on the floor, let's swap sides. First one leg, then the other. Well done, Ruth. That's it. Baddha Konasana. Well done, and see if, yes, bring your thighs more back, more back, more back, more back. Yes, that's it, and lift your shoulders. Well done. Okay, and now everybody in Shishasana, you can come down. Those of us who are pulling from the leg, bring yourselves back to center and extend the two legs together. Okay, so let's work on these sitting poses now. Whenever you have recovered from Shishasana, come up and sit on your mats. Have a little something to sit on. And this is the, and you might need a belt as well. So first of all, we want to do a very similar position as we were doing a minute ago, but instead of having the legs together facing the front, we will open the left leg out to the side, so 45 degrees to side, and open the right one and bring it as close to the inner groin as possible. We've got the two legs apart, but my torso still facing the front. What I want is, well, we're going to do some twists first, a couple of twists to the side, and then we will stay, first of all, twisting to the bent leg and going forwards. And once we go forward, we will go forwards to as far away as we can. My right arm, I'm going to come a little bit more back so you can see me. My right arm is extending away. And so from here, I will try to make a circle as if this was a compass and try and make a circle and try and make a circle. Can I reach my inner foot? And then go back and back again a couple of times. Even if this knee lifts up, doesn't matter. The important thing is to shift the weight gently because we don't want any injuries in the inner groin. So you've got one leg bent to give you that kind of leeway. Don't over pull this muscle. So if if when you are doing that action, you need to bring the torso up higher, you can slide the hand. The idea is to make a complete semicircle from one leg to the other, okay? So let us extend the two legs in front and then open the left leg 45 degrees out to side. Open the right knee out. So we are kind of facing the diagonal. Lengthen the two sides of the body, extend and sit tall. Let's sit tall. Can you show me how you sit tall? Great. And now we're going to kind of pretend that we are a windmill. So first of all, exhale and go to the right with the torso super straight. Then exhale and go to the left. Carry on extending the torso more. Lift the chest and don't let go. Go back to the right. Grip the two outer hips and come higher and taller with each turning. Lift the chest and turn some more. Go to the right once more. Now we'll stay in the right. So my face and my breastbones are facing the right knee. Extend the inner left leg away from you. We're turning to the right, yeah? Yes. And now we will start moving forwards so that the sternum comes closer to the right knee. All that without ungluing my left buttock from the floor. Left buttock stays on the floor. I am going all the way to the right knee. Now, how far away can I reach the right arm? How far away can I reach with the left arm? Can I carry on extending into the center of the room? Now, see if you can. Keep the left buttock glued on the ground and start making a circle with your torso and your left arm. Make a circle with your torso and your left arm. If the right knee lifts up, it doesn't matter. Just send the weight over to the left leg, over to the left, and make the right rib stretch a little. One more time. Come back to the right. Make a huge semicircle. Keep the left buttock down. Keep the left buttock down. And then can we extend the right side of the body more? When we are on the ground, extending, pointing at the right knee. Now, left hand moves into a semicircle. Can I reach further and further away beyond those toes? And then can I move back? Almost as if I am doing like a little arch back. Straighten that right side of body. And then inhale, come back to center. Take your belt and crisscross it so that we have it wrapping the left foot, one tail at each side. What I want is for you to be able to turn completely now. So we are going to not just do this turn. If I can reach the foot, I will hold the foot. Otherwise, I will hold my belt. But with my right arm, then I will come over my head and see, can I reach the belt or can I reach the foot? And then twist, 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 twist until you can peep through that window between your two elbows. This is a very beautiful stretch for the side of the body, but it's also an intense stretch for the inner groin of the left thigh. So be careful with that again. Let's do that again. Start extending your torso facing the front. First off, we're going to the right. So turn your bodies to the right. As soon as you turn the body, feel that that left buttock wants to rebel and wants to go up. So glue it down. Take it down to the floor. Now from here, lift the chest and move your breastbone forwards, but keep that buttock, left buttock down. Keep the left buttock down. Extend the left leg. Extend the two arms in front of you. Now with your left arm, we're going to start making a semicircle. Left buttock down. Left arm making a semicircle. Can you go all the way to the left inner foot? Now, if you reach the foot, you will catch the foot. And the elbow is in front of your left knee. If you cannot reach the foot, you will have your belt over there. Catch the belt. And now from here, extend the right arm up as if you were doing Trikonasana. Yes. Extend the right arm up and then move it over your head and see if you can reach. Can you reach the belt? Can you reach the foot? And from there, open that right elbow to the wall behind you. Open the right elbow and start taking your hair, your trunk, your chest, in between the two hands, in between the two arms. Inhale and come back up to center. Now remove the belt. Very carefully extend the right leg. Bring them both together to Tadasana. And we will do the same to the other side. So first, we're taking our right leg a little to the right. And then we will bend the left knee. So that leg comes deeply into my groin. The first few attempts, we're going to just do the bottom arm. So the right arm is going to move. But first, let's swing a bit, just like a windmill. Sit tall, lift the chest, and face the left knee with your sternum. You also want to anchor the outer right hip down to the floor. So turn to the left. Inhale, turn to the right. Notice the shift of weight. When we turn to the right, the body goes to right and the left and the right buttocks really anchor. So keep the right buttock anchor as it is now and then move your body to the left again. And once more, to the right and to the left, and we stay here. We stay growing taller and taking the right outer buttock down, right outer hip down. Now, how much more can we extend the chest over to the left knee? Sternum and both arms. Extend them beautifully to the left knee. However, what has happened to the right buttock? Is it flying up in the air? Can we bring it back down as we stretch the right arm? Now see if you can mark a semicircle. Mark a semicircle with your right arm without bending it all the way to the right foot. Careful with your right inner groin and then come back to the left. So you are basically creeping. One more time. Send your right arm all the way like a compass to the right. And one more time. Come back towards the left. Inhale and straighten your body up again. Now it's the time when we place the belt and cross the front of the belt so that when we have that twisting action, the belt is still there. We're not losing it. Lift your chest high and then turn your bodies to the left. Take your right outer buttock down. Lift the chest. And now move forwards, leading the way with your chest. The breastbone goes beyond the left knee. extend the two arms, but mostly extend the right because the right one is the one that's going to mark the way. So start extending the right leg, right arm, right leg, right arm, right leg, right arm, and see, can I reach my inner right foot? Can I reach the foot or the belt? If I can reach the foot, can I bend that elbow in front of the right knee? Then stretch your top arm. See how much we're starting to turn now. See how much weight there is now on the right buttock, and the poor little left buttock is hanging in the air. So send the weight evenly to both your bums. And then, can you arm over your head and see, will you reach the foot or the other side of the belt? And then start opening the window. So send your left elbow back to the wall behind you and bring your head, the chest, the neck in between the two arms. Inhale, release, come back up to center. Extend the left knee. Dandasana. Lift the chest up. And let us do one more Paschimottanasana as we did earlier today. So you can have the brick for in between your legs, and you want to have the legs slightly wide, just as wide as your hips. The belt, you can have the belt around your feet if you cannot reach your toes. But what I want is for us to extend the sides of the body. Appreciate that extension that we have just reached, and then move forwards. The brick is over there as a kind of goal or target. What I want is my chest to be coming closer and closer to that brick. The chest, not the head, not the chin, the chest. So I really need to pull from the arms wherever the arms are, pull from the arms into the feet or into the belt, open the shoulders and lift the chest more, lift the chest more. Carry on taking the chest forwards, 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 and then last of all, release. Release your head, the neck, the torso, but the legs are still working and the arms are still working. Inhale and come back up. Okay, so we are going to come into Setu Bandha with bricks or with blocks, depending on what props you have available. If you have 4 foam pads each, that would be great. If you don't have 4 foam pads each, have 1 brick underneath your buttock, a pile of books, or a block and a rolled up blanket to have more or less the size of one of these. Can you see? Either one of these or 4 of these. Chris, if you don't have enough props there, you can do it against the chair, yes? And lift your feet up onto the chair, like we did the other day. If you hold the chair and lift from the chair. Does that make sense? I'm not making any sense. If you haven't got the props, have a chair and push the feet into a chair just like this, holding the legs of the chair with your hands. You will come higher and higher and higher and higher with your buttocks. That is if you don't have enough props. If you do have either one brick or a few foam pads. We will go down sitting. If you have many foam pads, you sit first and then you go back. If you only have one brick, you first go down and then lift your buttocks to slide the brick. Yeah? So, have that pile of bricks underneath your sacrum and have the shoulders and the head and the neck on the ground, and your hands hopefully will be holding the blocks. If you have only one brick, interlace your fingers and press the upper arms down on the floor. Interlace your fingers beyond that brick. Yes, that's it. And can you bring the heels down? Yes, great. So at the moment, we all have bent legs and we all have thighs rolling in, whichever position and whichever prop we're using. If you're using more than a brick, so a pile of blocks, make sure that the blocks are a little bit further away from your waist. You want them right underneath the tailbone and sacrum, yeah? So if you have bricks, get hold of the bricks as if you were hugging them. If you have a chair, hold the legs of the chair and push down with your upper arms and push up with your buttocks. And if you have a brick, you're interlacing your hands and pressing down with your upper arms and shoulder tips. Everybody, whichever version the legs are and the buttocks are on, we all have our heads, our necks, and our shoulders down on the ground. Now, the feet are pressing strongly down, either on the chair or on the floor. And I want everybody to bring the hip bones closer to your ribs. Hip bones closer to your ribs. That will lift the chest some more. Hip bones closer to ribs. Chris, whenever you get tired, descend and then come back up. Those of us whose props are stable enough, see if you can bring one leg up, the other leg up, and then extend the legs into a 90-degree angle. Chris, you will be just, yes, doing one leg at a time. Extend the heels away up to the ceiling and extend the arms away, almost as if the arms wanted to reach the back end of your yoga mat. Now, those of us who can, start extending those two legs, extending the legs in the direction of the back end of the mat. Extend the legs away and then place the feet back down. One more time. Lift the legs one at a time or the two of them together. Extend them up into a right angle. Really extend from the inner groin to the inner ankle. Really suck in from the outer ankles to the outer hips. And then see if you can make a semicircle with your feet this time, with your legs this time. Extend the legs, carry on lifting the hip bones, but extend the heels as if they wanted to reach the ground, and then bend the knees and reach the ground. Stay there one more minute, lifting the chest, pressing your upper arms down, pressing your elbows down, and lifting the hip bones up towards your chest. And then, unless you have a chair, if you have a chair, you can roll yourselves down all the way. Otherwise, come on to the tip of your toes and lift your buttocks. If you have a lot of blocks, take two at a time down. If you have a brick, lower one level at a time. And then remove the bricks or blocks completely to the side. Roll over onto the right-hand side. And up you come. Let us all get ready for Shavasana. So for this Shavasana, if you have any discomfort in the hamstrings, you can of course place two of these underneath the hamstrings, right at the creases of your buttocks, more or less like that. So they are supported. You want the buttocks to be on the ground and the thighs supported. You can, if you have a bolster handy, you can also rest the thighs on a bolster and you will have the knees a little bit more bent. Otherwise, you can have any props that you require for your head or extra layers or a blanket to cover yourselves with or an eye bag, whatever you feel you need to be more comfortable in this relaxing position. Those of you wearing spectacles, leave them on one side. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. And if you are using a little pillow for your head, make sure it is touching your shoulders too. Once you are in the Shavasana position, make sure that the neck is extending away from the shoulders and that the shoulders are opening, making room for the chest to lift more. Relax your facial muscles. Relax the frown. Make sure that there is no tension in the cheeks, the tongue in your mouth. The tip of the tongue is resting peacefully on the lower teeth. The back of the tongue is shrinking to allow the air to come in and out more evenly. Inhale and exhale also without effort. The abdomen is soft. The mouth is soft. The jaw is soft. There's no clenching in the teeth. And then whenever you can, bring your hands to rest where they are comfortable on your bodies, one at a time. Bring also the two legs up gently. Roll onto the right hand side, staying curled up. And then when you're ready, sit up in a sitting position, bringing the head up last.